Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Cravin Cowboys. As you know, it's your girl, but tonight is special. I have my very special guest in the building with me tonight, Sports Junkie. As you guys should already know, if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that we, kind of linked up last season, did a couple shows when I went out to training camp, when I went out to I think the Niners game. I think we did a show when I was out there in Cali for the Niners game. So you guys should definitely make sure you guys follow, subscribe. You know, he's another content creator. He does all types of sports, basketball, football. Make sure you guys just follow my guy, Sports Junkie. Love linking up with him. If you could, Sports Junkie, just tell everybody how you feeling. Welcome. Thank you for joining me first of all for my channel. And if you could just kind of give just kind of a summary of your off season. We kind of chatting it up offside on the camera, but if you could just get everybody just got a kind of an update of how you were going through the off season and how you just kind of felt about some of the moves the Cowboys were making.
Well, at the beginning of the offseason, nope, I didn't like it. Nobody did. When Jerry came out with the all-in comments, that kind of put everybody in an uproar. I think I just had my hopes up for players that I wanted individually, and Jerry just didn't see it that way. You know what I mean? But he did address a lot of the holes we had in the draft that's looking better than we thought. You know what I'm saying? So I feel good. You know what I mean? I actually feel like we better this year than last year. Like as far as offense, defense. You know what I mean? Not splash. We don't have big names and none of that. But as far as the holes we need to fill, I feel we better this year than we were last year.
Yeah, so I'm good. I definitely agree with you on that front. How you feel? Actually, speaking of the moves we making and the guys that we kind of acquired, how do you feel specifically about Mike Zimmer? He's a new coordinator that we brought in the offseason. I think just me personally, I love the energy. I love not just the personnel he's brought in, but just the connection that he's had with everybody that he has brought in, and just kind of make it comfortable for these players that eventually do come into our building. How do you feel about the addition of Mike Zimmer?
So far, I'm loving it, but I need to see more as far as in the regular season. But it seemed like he has a little more. I think Jerry let him do his thing because some of the players we bringing in, it seemed like it fits Zimmer. They don't feel like those are Jerry Jones moves. So so far I'm good. I'm good with it. But like I said, I got to see in a regular season and see the difference and stuff like that. But I know from a coaching standpoint, I know he's going to be more disciplined. You know what I mean? Because even with Dan Quinn, I think he was more buddy kind of with the players. I think Zimmer is going to be a no nonsense. You might see somebody get cussed out coming to the sideline with Zimmer.
Right.
So, we'll see.
He came out and said it, so them guys make sure they on their job, right?
Yeah. He's not who I wanted at my first pick, but I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I didn't have anyone specifically in mind, but when they did, when rumors going around, then we actually signed Mike Zimmer as him being one of the potential candidates, and then when they actually signed him, I was like, okay, he had his reputation, with the Minnesota Vikings. He defensive minded, and it was kind of even with the players, it was kind of unsure how if he would come in, how the players would take to his his coaching style and things like that. And even when he brought on guys like Coach Scanina from Washington, and even bringing in Greg Ellis, a former Cowboys player who's now working underneath Zimmer, I think it's I think it's great the way he, number one, chose these guys who had these specific traits. Greg Ellis for the D line, because of course he's a former defensive edge and can actually teach certain techniques, grow close with these players. I mean, we heard about Marshawn Nealon, our second round draft pick, spending a lot of time with Ellis working on his hand techniques, having power at the line and things like that. So I think it's, it's great to see that he's already forming, a relationship with our second round pick, not just a group of guys. We spoke about letting D-Law, have a say in some of the practices, when he, I guess one had to have a closer relationship with the players, having a player coach type, there with him. But I just think it's great how he's kind of already started forming a bond with not just our players, but with our second round pick. And as far as Coach Scanina, I mean, at first, we know he's a hard-nosed coach. We know his coaching style is tough. Mozzie spoke to it. The defensive line spoke to it as well. And even Coach Scanina spoke to it and said, hey, these guys have no choice. He said Mozzie has no choice, but really, all these guys have no choice as far as his coaching style and taking what he wants his group, to be responsible for on the field, and being, sound at the line, and make sure they're taking these blocks to make sure to keep their linebackers clean. I think that's great to have that kind of hard nosed approach, but at the same time, really, I think this past week we seen him at practice, laughing, Micah, using him as a kind of a on the field kind of not a dummy, but kind of running into him during drills and things like that. Just seeing him that he's not only grown close with the D line, but having a relationship with Micah, the whole defense as a whole. I think it's just amazing how he's brought these guys in, and kind of not only how Zimmer has brought these guys in, not only to kind of get his message out, but also just kind of creating connections with these players as well.
Yeah, you can see even though it's preseason, you can kind of see a difference in the
demeanor, right? Yeah, speak to that. Like just how this defense.
Yeah, you can kind of see the difference. I just wish he would have had like everything put together. You know what I mean? Like I know we just lost Bland. I wanted him to see the whole defense put together. You know what I mean? And but I think he's gonna make do. I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? I'm okay with it. I just don't like. What is he on, like a 1-year deal too?
Yeah,
I don't like that, but hey, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I 100% feel you. And at the same time, as far as that 1-year deal, but I also like that, like you said, it seems like Zimmer has a little bit more leeway, a little bit more. Hey, I need these guys, bring me these guys, but. I need these guys from my system. This is how I need to work. So, you got me on this 1-year deal. Hey, at least Jerry has the wherewithal to kind of get him the guys that he needs for this particular year as far as right now.
Yeah. Who was it that used to say, it was a Bill Parcells? He said, you want me to cook, but you want to buy the groceries or something he used to say.
Yeah, something like that. You want me to cook, I don't have the groceries to cook with.
Yeah. So in this situation, it seemed like I'm letting you cook and you can pick the ingredients. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
He probably told Jerry, I need this, I need that, I need this. Jerry told him, hey man, do what you got to do. I just final say off on it. Just like if you think about last year, where did we hurt last year? It wasn't the corners really, it wasn't the DBs. It was the DBs having to come up and play linebacker. They addressed that. We got ran over all last year. We addressed that. We got some big boys up front. So on the defense side of the ball, I think that's gonna help our offensive side of the ball. You know what I mean? We're gonna get the ball. People are gonna be 3 and out. I believe that.
Absolutely, that's a huge point, Sports Junkie. I really do believe that because number one, you have the offensive line going up against this, this new fresher D line, and with these new coaches, I think just them kind of getting their techniques together. And as someone mentioned in the chat. And speaking of the chat, sorry y'all, I haven't really had much time to go through everybody's comments. Thank you guys for joining us. Keystone, your guy Nick's, of course, coming through. Lou's takes. Nisi loves beauty. Everybody coming through, showing love. Jameson Taylor, really appreciate you guys coming through tonight. Really appreciate. Yeah, like Nick said, TGIF. Definitely happy about that. It's almost the end of the week, y'all. Almost a 3-day weekend. Very excited. That's really why I'm glad we able to knock this show out. So I've been doing stuff all week, y'all. And be honest with you, this weekend is about to be mine. This weekend, the long weekend. I'm definitely taking it in this weekend. Hey, how about you? You got any plans for a 3-day weekend, Sports Junkie?
Yeah, I'm gonna lay up and kick back and chill. I ain't doing that. I might go to the lake. I like to fish. I'm a fisherman.
Yeah. Hey, man, get used to this weather while it's still here. I was just saying that the other day. Like I'm trying to soak up every bit of sun before it goes out. I just felt that little bit of chill. Here.
But you insulting me though. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean?
I'm in Arizona. It's hot down here. I don't want no sun.
I forgot, bro. I forgot, bro. I don't know how we get to Arizona, bro.
I can't even look out the window. It's hot, man.
Look out the window.
It's hot, man. It's hot. Hey, I was at the house like 2 weeks ago. My AC unit went out. Man, ain't no put on no fan. You have to leave the premises.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I heard about that Texas heat. I know about my girl Star. She said Texas. She said that Texas heat don't play, but Arizona,
man. Arizona is hot. I'm talking about hot. Like at night it's hot.
Damn, man. Well, hopefully it'll cool down soon. I mean, except fall right around the corner. Hopefully it'll cool down for you soon. What's up, Lee Harrison, and for the Facebook group? Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you. Anybody else watching on Facebook? Really, really appreciate you guys as well. But we just been. You look good, Nick said. Like, oh hell no.
Hey, it's hot, man. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Texas is scorching right now. Yeah, but AZ is a different level. Look, Love's Beauty showing up. She said the same thing.
It's different out here. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You know what I mean?
To you, loose take. He said they got the heat that melt the cars, bro.
Yeah.
It is different. That is true. different. I can't imagine how it is out there. Ooh. I was thinking about moving down there, or at least maybe Texas area, in the future. But I'm gonna have to rethink that. Maybe maybe somewhere in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? I need a little bit of fall weather to get me through the tough months, man. Especially
you can go up north though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't like too much snow, so I don't know how far up north, but you know what I'm saying?
Up there, but in Phoenix, nah.
Yeah, that's probably so different, man. So yeah, so we kind of talked about Zimmer a little bit. Kind of talked about some of the moves they make. Speaking of moves, our number one wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, just got paid this past week, and that's very exciting. I mean, we all expected it. Really our top two players, Dak and CeeDee, should be getting their contract before the season starts. So, now we're the focus is kind of turned towards Dak, right? I mean, the past 24 hours. 36 hours, Dak had his interview, Jerry had his press conference where for whatever reason the other day, I mentioned the other day, like why they give the owner a whole 30, 40-minute press conference is beyond me, especially before football, the games are starting, takes me back to when they had the opening press conference, and for whatever reason, Mike McCarthy he's barely answering any questions because everyone has questions for Jerry and Steven. So it's just like, the focus is once again not on football. You know what I'm saying? Once again, we're talking about contracts. We're talking about how Jerry feels in relation to paying Dak or not paying Dak. So, everyone's already aware of, what's been said by Dak and Jerry. So no need to repeat anything. But, I just want to bring up a point. I've seen even from some of our beat writers or from some of our Dallas beat writers, they kind of taking the angle as, Dak taking shots or Dak is on edge or Dak this, Dak that. But I want to get your perspective because, in my opinion, this started with Jerry. Dak can't control. Even he said, "You can't control it. I can only control what I can control. I can't make pretty much I can't make the guy pay me. I'm just, I'm letting my agent handle that. I'm going to the season focus on football." What's your point of view on? I'm sure all Cowboys fans feel the same about how this is being handled. But what's your point of view as far as Dak, quote unquote Dak versus Jerry, or this whole narrative that's kind of come out in the past few days?
As a Cowboy fan, you grown to get used to it. It's still irritating and agitating, but as a Cowboy fan, you kind of get used to it, I guess. And I've always said this, and I can be all the way wrong with this. The reason Dak get treated like the way he get is because Dak look at Jerry as a business. Most of the people that like Tony Romo, it ain't that Tony Romo was white or something like that. He had a special relationship with Jerry because he let Jerry put him under the wing. Dak Prescott keep him at a distance. Like, nigga, pay me my money, I'm gonna go play football. You know what I mean? And now you're starting to see Dak Prescott starting to get a little more agitated. See, he's starting to be a little more like, I don't care because I'm rich now. Like I was waiting last time to get money. I didn't want to really say nothing because I want to get paid. But now I'm rich, bro. You can't franchise tag me. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. You either pay me or let me walk at the end of the season.
Exactly.
You know? And then what? And then what you gonna do? You know what I mean? Because I think it's like a $40 million cap hit or something. Like, why would you do that?
Right, and they gonna be left with that cap hit. Dak ain't gonna have to worry about none of that. He gonna be going to the team.
Jerry he could have solved all this last year, man. Right. You know what I mean? Even before he could have took care of CeeDee, Dak, all these dudes, but he don't. You know what I'm saying? And Dak, let me tell you something. You talked about CeeDee and Dak. Do you know? I think Dak and CeeDee would be way better than they are if Jerry just put the pieces. Look at CeeDee, right? Take CeeDee for example. It's not another threat really on the other side. Okay, we got
right. You there? Oh snap! It look like sport.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you there? Okay, you froze up for a second. Go ahead, you good?
Yeah, but what if he had another major piece over there on that side?
Yeah. That'd be huge, and even bringing in a guy like Brandon Cooks, who he has the experience, and this is no fight to Brandon Cooks, but he has the experience. But for that first year with Dak, we're going to see how it explodes on the field this year, hopefully. But even that first year with Dak, he couldn't really get the connection going on the field starting the season. Now we had to pretty much beg for him to get the ball to Brandon Cooks, and then when you finally see him getting involved, he's getting touchdown passes in the end zone. They're getting him more involved. He had some big plays. Now, granted, he did have some bad plays in the Green Bay game and some big games last season, but it's just like you say, we just don't have that concrete threat. On the other side of CeeDee. So when you are able to take away a Brandon Cooks, and unfortunately, I don't know if he's been with an injury, or I know the past couple of practices he's been, out on the side, and hopefully he's really well. But it's like bro. Like to still not have a solid, like you said, to still not have a solid piece on the outside of CD is just, it's I don't know what happened to Sports Junkie. Did he dip out? Okay, y'all. Well, I guess it's just me. I'm gonna see if he comes back in for a second. But yeah, like he said, if he had another piece on the other side of him, I think that would really work. I mean, of course, work in our favor. I mean, we see them bringing in guys like Jalen Brooks. They have a Jalen Tolbert who's coming along. Ryan Flournoy, who's surprising me. Just speaking for myself, he's definitely surprised me. Like I said yesterday or the other day, I thought Flournoy was going to be. I thought he was going to be down for the count. He missed a couple practices. He missed the joint practice for the Rams. So for him to come back and show out in the actual Rams preseason game and then the games ensuing, like I said, I definitely he definitely has good stock. Keystone says if Jerry had another piece, CD. That's a great point, Keystone. If Jerry had another piece, CD wasn't getting his bag. I mean, and I kind of got that feeling, during the off season, or I guess I'll say at least during camp, where Jerry just kept saying, oh, we don't need him here. We don't need CD here. We're keeping him, fresh, or we're keeping him safe from injury, right? That was, the reasoning that it was okay for CD not to be there. But I think that's a great point, Keystone, because all the other wide receivers that we kind of had in the room, granted, I wanted to see some more than others, but they all had pretty much a chance to be able to show themselves in preseason. But I just don't think, just like we see with Trey Lance, I don't think that none of these receivers really showed enough to even really be on the other side of CD. There goes Sports Junkie. What's up, fam? Dipped out for a little bit. Oh, your sound, fam, your sound.
I said, I don't know what happened. It just froze up or something.
All right, you back now, though. Yeah, you talk about, I mean, I was just finishing out trying to finish out your thought, talking about having another piece of opposite side CD, and Keystone actually had a good point. He said if Jerry had another piece, then CD probably wouldn't have gotten his bag. What's your thought on that?
Man, listen, you know what I noticed? You know what I want? I want this what I want. I want the San Francisco 49ers. I said this in one of my videos. I want the San Francisco 49ers salary cap. You know what I mean? I want the Philadelphia Eagles salary cap. I want these people's salary cap. They got AJ Brown and Smitty over there. That is two elite, possibly number one receivers. They bring in Saquon Barkley. How is Howie Roseman just bringing in all these pieces, man, and fit it under the cap?
Right.
I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if we had another, even Amari Cooper. Now I know Amari Cooper or CD Lamb wouldn't have probably excelled the way he was.
Yeah.
Without work. But what if you had another like Amari Cooper over there, just a threat?
Yeah,
man, it would be, you know what I'm saying? Because the way I look at things, if I was Jerry, I would start with my division. Don't look at the Super Bowl or the playoffs, none of it. Everybody in my division seems like they're getting better, except the Giants. I don't know what they're doing over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know what they're doing over there.
I don't know. They kept all three quarterbacks too, just like we did.
Man, come on, man. Washington.
Washington. Yeah, like Washington, you could every now and then give credit to their defense, but it's like their offense though, always in some kind of trouble.
Hey, you talked about Dak, how I feel about Dak in this contract negotiation, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why Jerry really mad. Because Jerry, listen, Dak don't got no trade clause, right? I'm gonna tell you something.
Right.
You can't trade him, right? You can't franchise tag him, right? So Jerry was using Trey Lance in the media as leverage against that, right? Mm-hmm. So when Trey Lance went out there and threw them 5 picks, man.
right.
I'm rooting for Trey Lance. He on the team. I don't want him to do bad. But when Jerry seen that, he lost more leverage with that.
Exactly.
Dak was probably like, oh, that's who y'all got. That's who y'all got.
Right. And I think, that could easily be the reason why Dak is like, he already had the confidence during the offseason, but like this who y'all thought, this who you thought you was replacing me with? Okay. Like, even there, look, it can get done or it can't get done, but look, I'm good. I'm worried about the season. That's a great point.
Go on, put him out there.
Right. You went, and I'm sure he's seen it from the first preseason game. I'm sure Jerry was like, okay, well, he's gonna get better. It's just the first game. He can get better. And look how he ended. 5 interceptions.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what else he did? He lost his leverage with Trey Lance, right? And he also lowered Trey Lance trade value.
Exactly.
That's the last thing you put on tape. That's the last thing you put on tape, man. Who's gonna trade for him?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You gave San Francisco a 4th round or something. So what you gonna give? What you gonna give him now?
You might be lucky to get that now, honestly, because wow, that's a huge point, because it's like now you done like you said, now he didn't kind of gone down in value now. So it's like, and you can talk about potential all you want, but teams don't want to hear about potential when you start in the season. They want to hear about potential when their quarterback goes down. You feel me? They want somebody who can go in here, be a bridge player right away, right now, and come in here and win this game for us.
Right. The best time to trade Trey Lance was after Green Bay dumped us. Because you could have been like, man, look at Jordan Love, young quarterback, came in and beat the Cowboys. You could have sold that Trey Lance off on somebody and got somebody back for it. Now you can't. Right. All you can do is come in the press conference and say, "Oh, we still believe in Trey Lance. He's going to be on the roster."
Right. That's all you can do. That's literally all you can do. And even if you do, even Jerry coming through say, "Well, yeah, he's going to be on the roster." It's like everyone knows, like you got egg on your face. Everyone knows you. Everyone knows you wasted the pick. Everyone knows you want to feel like you right by keeping Trey on the team. But for what? So you can say, "Oh, well, we need an emergency quarterback." Okay, everyone needs an emergency quarterback, but the third quarterback is usually on the practice squad. But you have him making the 53. It's like you know you don't be proven wrong, but come on.
He gave Trey Lance all them reps in the last game. All that. Now I will say this though. I seen some things Trey Lance that can't do. That can't run like that.
Right.
That can't run like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But other than that, man, like, you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm a Cowboy fan. So if Trey Lance was to be named the starter, I wouldn't like it, but I'm not going to root against him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. He's just not my pick to be starting quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He just not.
No, I 100% agree with you. And like I said, listen to Dak Prescott, or I guess not his press conference, but listen to his interview. I guess from yesterday, and you know, hearing him speak about potentially leaving. I know he doesn't want to, but just hearing about the potential of it, it's like I kind of feel the same way. Like going forward, I only want Dak Prescott as my quarterback, but whoever they bring in here, I'm gonna be a Cowboys fan. I'm gonna cheer for the Cowboys, but it's gonna be hard trying to envision this team without Dak Prescott. I'm gonna just keep it real.
Yeah, because you have no backup plan. See, Jerry put himself in his position. You have no backup plan. You know what I mean? Like that. It's just, and now you give Dak Prescott more leverage. I think Dak Prescott really want to be a Cowboy, but at the same time, it get to a point like, man, dude, you keep disrespecting me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like most owners, all that stuff that the media be talking about Dak, most owners will come out and take up for their quarterback. Oh, nah, we that's our guy. This and this. You know what I mean? They don't. They come out with stuff that just disrespect the dude. Right. We go as far as Dak take us and all this other stuff.
Right. Zeke and all that. Like, it's crazy when you start players. Even CD, I have no urgency. Like, we know what you got it done, like, with the next couple of days, but it's like, why do you have to speak? And right after CD came out and said, let's go ahead and pay our quarterback, let's go ahead and kill the speculation, let's kill all this noise, let's start the season. You come out the next day talking about you know, I don't know. Like, bro, like, I'll be, like you said, we used to be as Cowboys fans, but it's like, for me, it's just like, Jerry, don't you get enough, bro? Like it's like never enough for Jerry. It's like the money not enough. We were talking about the money not enough. All of a sudden, Dak and CD's play, quote unquote, is not enough. It's like, of course, we know about that huge loss, we know about the big loss in Green Bay, but you know, so now that's not enough. You know, it's not enough to go to the playoffs almost 2, 3, 4 years in a row with Mike McCarthy being 12-5. That's not enough. You know what I'm saying? So, and no, granted, it's not enough but also for 31 other teams. What they do is not enough. Only one team wins the Super Bowl at the end of the season. So 31 teams don't do enough every year.
I said that when me and you were talking off air. I said that football is not track. You don't get no silver or bronze medal. Ain't no participation points. If you don't win gold, which is the Super Bowl, you failed. And then Jerry Jones got his feelings hurt the other day when that media guy asked him something. He went to cussing. I'm the best GM. Can't nobody do it like me and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Jerry is a great businessman, but he's not a great
that's not even the first time he said that. Even when he goes into the owners' meeting or things like that. I forget what meeting they were in. He talking about potentially other teams getting prime time, you know, during the season. He's like, why should other teams be on TV? The Cowboys make more money than them. I make more money than them that they could even think of. And it's like, why are you trying to compete? Like, personally, as an owner, trying to compete with other owners, like it should be about your team competing, not you competing with other owners. You should allow your team to compete. Let them do the play on the field, and you let that speak for the organization, not you speaking for the organization all the damn time.
Yeah, but you know what though? One thing I gotta give Jerry credit for, I guess, is Jerry do put talent on the field. But see, the thing about it is he draft well and all that. But now that you got the players, allow somebody to like coach the players. Get out the way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, think about it. All these players we picked up, from the old tackle to the linebackers to all the players we picked up in the draft and just brought in.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine giving a coach that got all the power that like Belichick, for example, Belichick. You know what I mean? Belichick is a defensive coach. I know we got Zimmer, but I'm just saying in general. He's not going to allow that because he's going to lose control. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we'll probably win. Jerry bought money. Do you know how much the Cowboys will be worth if we won a Super Bowl? Like they'll skyrocket.
Right. We just hit $10 billion this past offseason. After not winning. Not even going to an NFC championship game for so long. We still just hit $10 billion, or Cowboys hit $10 billion in the offseason. Yeah. So like you said, supply your coaches, supply your coaching staff, even supply your players with other players who have had experience in those big games, so that way they can learn from them off to the side. But at the same time, the entire team can grow as a whole, and then you could possibly experience more playoff runs. You could probably
Somebody said Jerry narcissistic, and another person said Jerry wants all the credit, which is true. You fired Jimmy. Bill Parcells wanted out of here because I can't run. Why you think we never had no big name coaches? People got this what they feel about Dak Prescott. Take Dak Prescott, the same one, the losing quarterback, the choker, that person. Take him and swap him out over there with Brock Purdy and see how good he be.
Right.
Over there with Shanahan, or take him over there to McVay or one of them coaches. Send him over there, and you'll see how good.
And not just McVay and Shanahan, but with Deebo Samuel now, Brandon Ayuk, Cup, the Rams. Like, come on, bro. Like, and it's no slight to anybody who made our team. We're gonna talk about the final roster in a little bit, but no slight to anybody who made the final roster. But it's like, you can elevate. You can even now when they're bringing in veterans in these certain rooms, like a veteran D tackle, they can teach these guys things what they may not have known because they haven't been to those big games. But you bring in a 10-year veteran like a Kendricks or like a Joseph, even Brandon Cooks on the offensive side, who can teach these guys what to do. CD flourished when they brought in a T.Y. Hilton just for a month or two. You see the excitement.
Yeah, but this is football. We got 17, 18 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb, do you know how I used to feel when we had Tony Romo? Because we've been having a good season. The moment Tony Romo go down, the season over, right?
Right.
CeeDee Lamb I ain't even talking about a season injury. I'm talking about maybe a couple week injury. He is one ankle twist away from us being out of the playoffs.
Right. Because just like you said, after all this work they've done to kind of, they brought in guys to kind of help the defense, and even last year when they brought in the Cooks, we drafted and developed. We have two guys, Tolbert, Flournoy coming along, Jalen Brooks. We do have all these guys, but like you said, like number one, we really have now. Even last year, we were one of the youngest teams. So now this year, we lost a lot of veterans to the free agency. So now we have an even younger team. So these guys haven't been in these situations. He said they're terrible. He said they're over there laundering.
Oh. Yeah, they're over there laundering. I got a question for you, though.
Oh, my gosh.
I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. Do you think, like, just honestly, like no bias or nothing, do you think that they're better this year than they were last year? As far as roster, like as far as position for position, do you feel they're better this year or worse?
Position for position, I'll say there are definitely certain groups that have, definitely gone up, like the defensive tackle room, the linebacker room. I'll say as far as wide receivers, I'm not going to say the past few years we always just had, CD and then, some other guys. I mean, no disrespect, but we had Noah Brown, Dennis Houston to start the season out. You know what I mean? We tried to work in Turpin, last season, but we just, like you said, we never had that actual second threat besides Jake Ferguson, of course. Our tight end group, I think, has the potential to be better than last season, but as of right now, I don't see our tight ends being better. So I'll say position group by position group, there are certain groups that have gotten better, but as a whole, I hate to say a step back, but because, like I said, a lot of our guys are younger and haven't been in some of these positions. I think I'll say that we're not as good as we have last year, because we did lose a lot of free agency. Yeah, I'll go, because I haven't seen what we've been able to produce on the field. I love our defense. I love what Zimmer has brought to defense so far. But like you said, I need to see it translate on the field. Even with Dalvin Cook, I was like, I'm gonna reserve my judgment for Cook, because I don't know exactly what he can bring to the running back room. So it's like it's just there's still a lot of questions up in the air. You know what I'm saying?
I think we better.
The second year, you think we're better?
Yeah. Because if you really think about it, what hurt us last year? Teams, do you remember we played the Bills? I don't even think Josh Allen threw the ball 10, 11, 12 times. They just ran the ball on us all game. So we fixed that, right? So we can agree on that, right?
I mean, I ain't gonna. It's only been preseason, fam.
But come on, it can't get no worse. It can't get no worse,
fam. I don't know.
It can't get no worse.
I'll say we improved because we definitely from week 2 in the preseason to week 3. I will say we did allow less rushing yards. So I'll say in that aspect, I'll say as of right now we're improving. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say we improved.
It can't get no worse, right? It can't get no worse.
I mean, 200 plus yards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. You can't get worse than that, honestly. So,
all right, it can't get no worse. All right, so we ain't gonna have that's the defensive line getting ran over. Right. We ain't gonna have defensive backs playing linebacker either, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Our offense, CeeDee Lamb back, Dak back. We did lose Tyron Smith, but Tyron Smith played how many games a year now? Not like 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? And we just drafted so he might not be as good as Tyron Smith, but
I definitely, Guyton definitely. I mean, like I said, I'm still reserving, but the way this is me seeing Guyton in the preseason and practice, I definitely have full confidence in him to be able to go out there and at least be able to start building on something. Yeah.
Right. Now people forget about continuity. So now you bring Zeke back. Right. People thinking about Zeke for 20, 30-yard rushes. No, but Zeke is going to give Dak Prescott, his homeboy. They got a bond. They tight. Yeah, he's going to give him more time in the pocket because Zeke is still a thumper. You're not going to just run on there and hit Dak. He's going to pick that blitz up. You know what I mean? He's a contact. He's still going to pick that up. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have more time in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we better. And they changed the rules on the kickoff. I think that's going to benefit us with Turpin.
Yeah, Turpin. That's going
to benefit our special team room.
That's a good point. Okay.
We got the kicker that's kicking 72-yard field goals. Hey.
Shout out to Brandon Aubrey because, bro, we ain't had I forget who I was talking to, but. I think maybe to Bailey. I think Bailey or even Maher was giving us a little bit something, but Bailey, I think we had an on-point kicker since Bailey. So to be able to go out there with Brandon Aubrey, okay.
Hey, Ferguson another year because he the tight end. You know what I mean? Come on, that's a safety blanket.
But see, it's not Ferguson I'm worried about. I need somebody to come in. I said it before. I need somebody to come in and be able to spell Jake Ferguson. I need a tight end too because Ferg can't do it all himself. I know we have the other tight ends that can be able to come in and block, but John Stevens, he caught a great ball. Unfortunately, he fumbled it, but I want to see more of that. I want to see more tight end usage in pass catching because I just want somebody to be able to come in, spell Jake Ferguson from taking those hits in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be him because he did put the weight on, but I just want to see a little bit more stability in the tight end room.
Okay.
As far as the guys behind Jake Ferguson.
Okay, cool. But see, let's move on. We lost Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard wasn't the same Tony Pollard last year as he was the year before he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I said this in one of my videos that game we lost against, was it Miami? That game we lost against Miami, we have Zeke, we win that game. Do you remember the touchdown that was on the 1-yard line, the handoff to the fullback? We was getting ready to go up. We was getting ready to go up that game.
All that space in front of Tony, bruh.
We was getting ready to go up that game, right?
Yeah, man.
So in my opinion, we better. I don't think that's gonna get worse.
Right? Yeah, definitely not that. Yeah,
I don't see us getting worse.
Yeah, I think we have a better run scheme. You know what I'm saying? Better personnel situation. Like you said, if we do have a Zeke in that situation, I think we do cross the goal line.
Zeke is our tush push.
Right.
Zeke is our
for real.
Zeke is our tush push.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Zeke is looking at it like this is, I ain't gonna say his last year, but it's like his last hoorah. So I think he's gonna come out.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think that speaks to, and that's a great point you bring up because we've been talking about the connection between Zimmer and all these guys that he brought in, right? The two coaches that he brought in, then the players, and then Joseph. Kendricks, of course, even Dalvin Cook, who has a connection with Zimmer. But I didn't think about that. I mean, I know about the relationship with Dak and Zeke, but like you said, bringing in someone who's comfortable with Dak, not just going and getting a Dalvin Cook
Yeah,
or just at the
yeah.
time a Royce Freeman that Dak that he has to build chemistry with. Yeah, you bring back his guy who
God,
literally best friends with. So like you said, they're gonna have that chemistry already, and then like just
God, God,
okay,
God.
okay, I
It's God. And then too, another thing, we're gonna have to, not us Cowboy fans, but we're gonna have to start giving Dak a little more props, right?
think.
He have Kellen Moore, he lead the league in offense. He get Mike McCarthy, he lead the league in offense.
Right.
Hey man, now
Right. And touchdown passes, ain't it? Touchdown passes.
Kellen Moore go over there to Philly with a better quarterback, so they say. So he should lead the league in offense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think
Right.
we're better. I think we're better. You know what I mean? Mike McCarthy, hey, bro, 1 year, 1 year, Mike McCarthy. You know what I mean? Hey, you got to get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I hope Dak don't even sign his contract. I hope Dak go out there and ball and then ask for 70. I want $70 million.
That look like Dak said he gonna get paid regardless. And I like you said, I love the mindset he has. Like, look, like I'm going in for face it head on. I'm gonna get paid whether it's here or somewhere else. So let me just go into the season and think about my team. It's about right now. We do like you said, 1 year, not just Dak, but McCarthy, Mike Zimmer, some of the other guys on the coaching staff who are on 1 year deals. He's like I think Dak said it perfectly. It's about right now. It's about what we do here in this room right now. And Zimmer was able to get his guys. McCarthy be able to build another year under Dak and with CD as well. Not just Dak building a relationship more with CD. Some of the other guys who were here last year under the offense. So I mean, I think like they've really been saying all whole off season, like they've never really, or not never, but they haven't really had to play they've really pretty much been playing the catch up game. Everything's already been installed. They just gotta, implement it on the field. And then there's a few new wrinkles. Even Zeke, I just watched an interview with Zeke. He said it's really only about 15 to 20% that's really different since even he's been gone. It's really just rehashing everything of what he was calling last year. And Zeke spoke to just really about having to just really learn things. Like I said, not really anything difficult, but just learning new wrinkles that just, I guess, that they went through last year when he wasn't here. So like you said, just bringing in back Zeke who's not just close to Dak, but who's been in the system before, and then bringing in guys who have a familiar face with Zeke. I really think that's going a long way with connectivity.
Yes, that's why I feel like overall we're gonna be a better team on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think it's really a problem over there. I think it was just the offensive line. I think I wish we'd have got another receiver, but on the defensive side of the ball for sure. But I don't know what's up with Diggs. You know what I mean, with his injury coming back, and I don't. And then Bland is gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know about.
Right. I guess that is one. I guess that is one point I'll say as far as. I know I mentioned earlier, there's like a lot of questions, but I'll say, one of the main questions, of course, we know Deron Bland's injury. Especially having, like you said, like I don't know if you mentioned it off camera, but you said we could just never have it like all the way together. Last year, Gilmore, but we only had Gilmore, Diggs, and Bland for two games, and then Diggs.
I don't look good now.
Yeah, and now we have Diggs back. And
now letting Gilly go to Minnesota don't even look that good no more.
Right, at all.
Yeah, you could have got him for. It wasn't like he was asking for no whole bunch of money. That's Jerry.
Right.
That's Jerry.
And him being here last year, he might have took less than $10 million. You might even ask for $10 million. You might have asked for $7 million. You can't do $7 million, Jerry. So I mean, I know at the time you didn't have Bland going down, but you even behind Bland, you didn't really. I mean, even behind Bland, I guess I'll say Carson. That's a draft pick, but you're not sure about him just yet. And then even behind him, the depth.
Yeah. Who goes over there?
Coming back, Izzy coming back from injury. You know what I'm saying? We had, Keeman Hall, I think he's on practice squad now, but he's in the backup nickel position. Of course, we have Jordan Lewis playing nickel, and we're going to have, I don't know if they're going to start.
Do he stay at nickel? Nickel?
It depends if they decide to kick him outside, who they decide to put on the other side of Diggs. Because at the same time, you got to bring back Diggs slowly. So it's not like you go, okay, we got Diggs, we can do this. Like you have, okay, we got to bring Diggs back slowly. We got to have somebody, we might have to kick Jay Lou outside. We might put Izzy, after we kick out, Jay Lou. It's just so many, like, I know they can, plug and play different scenarios of what they think they can do. But at this point, training camp is over. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, when Bland got hurt over the weekend, so you had those 2 practices without him, but you haven't really had much time to game plan
Yeah.
as a pet. I mean, you have we can some change left the game plan, but it sucks with this injury being so late in the offseason. But it's like, so now you have questions before. Now you have even a heavier question on your head with Bland going down. You know what I mean?
But
So
but
what's your thoughts on
he,
Kalen being able to step up?
about who?
Kalen Carson.
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I gotta see it. You know what I mean? The only thing I think is like this: our defensive line gonna have to put pressure on the quarterback to help the cornerbacks out until you know what I'm saying. Because a lot of teams don't have two. Well, some of them do on our schedule. I know Philly for sure. Philly got two receivers, so you can't hide.
Right,
you can't hide the quarterback.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so. I don't know. I gotta see it. I just think our defensive line, we're gonna have to put major pressure on the quarterback to give him. He got to get it out. 1 and 2 step drops. And it got to be slants. It can't be no deep. Like you know what I'm saying?
No, that is absolutely true. And we saw in preseason that the line wasn't really. They were getting to the pocket, but like as far as the pressure that they were bringing, it wasn't. Whole heart pressure. So
yeah. And then this is gonna be their preseason game. None of them dudes really played.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so when they play, this is their first game back. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. It's
so,
crazy.
I mean, we definitely have a healthy, which is a good thing. I think we have a healthy enough, rotation at D line. I mean, we know we have a lot of guys at defensive tackle, but outside of D line, Michael, we do have Golston. We have Lawson that they kept on the practice squad in case someone who is up front, hopefully doesn't go down. But and even rotation, if they decide to activate him, we would have the rotation in game. But it's like the pressure. We need that pressure there because if the guy back there has all day, like we saw in preseason, they're gonna be able to line this up. You know what I'm saying? Whether and especially with them having that's one point I want to make with Booth. I know they signed Booth, Andrew Booth, and he was for sure being a great tackler, but seen a couple times, and even this, I think a practice a couple of days ago, he got burnt by Flournoy in the end zone, and I'm like, so I know this guy's a great tackler, but I'm afraid of leaving Booth out there. I'm afraid of them leaving Booth out there on the other side of the digs because all it takes is one play. We saw that literally in preseason. All it takes is one play to get to the red zone.
But you said you asked me about Carson, but a lot of people in the comment section saying Carson is lost to prove a cornerback. A lot of Carson's is about that. I believe in Carson's. So I don't know. We might.
No, I definitely see what people are saying in the chat because I agree. Like a lot of these, some of these guys, even Guyton and BB, like we have a lot of confidence. We're seeing great things in preseason, and even Carson, I have confidence in what I've seen in practice, but I think he missed the second preseason game because of a wisdom tooth, I think. But and even the third preseason game, I don't think he played. So it's like I know we leave it on his rookie shoulders because we don't have a choice because they're not going to look in the cornerback market like Jerry said. But it's like we gotta see what this guy has because we talk about Guyton going up against I don't know who Browns receivers is like. I haven't really taken a deep dive into the Browns.
I'm glad you brought that up. Can I touch on that since you brought that up?
Yeah. Go ahead, fam. Yeah.
Listen, man. Maybe it's just me, but I don't even see what this hoopla is about. Cleveland. Everybody keep talking about Cleveland. Like that's all I've been hearing is Cleveland. Man, hey, y'all talking about our quarterback? Who that quarterback? Who that quarterback? Man, this dude ain't been good since he got his money, since he got that big contract. Now, I ain't gonna disrespect their defense, but like, come on, man. Like, stop it, man. You know what I mean? I'm happy we got this schedule this year. You know what I mean? I'm happy. So we can't say we played against tomato cans or none of that, like they said.
Right. That's a great point. Oh, really? Okay.
It'll prepare us for the playoffs. We go into the playoffs. It'll prepare us for the playoffs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy.
And I think to your point, I think that gives Jerry or is giving Jerry a little bit more of a not a reason because there's no reason to not pay your top quarterback. I think he kind of used that as like a crush, if you will, because he's like, okay, well, if we kind of get to see how you play against teams like the Browns, team like the Ravens, even if he goes up to like say like the bye week, right? If we have an early bye week, so we get teams like the Ravens, the Steelers, Brown, like pretty much almost. I think pretty much the whole AFC North or whatever division that is. So it's like, okay, now I get to see you against these teams, and okay, I'll use that to determine your contract. You know what I'm saying? It kind of is like
Right.
I guess a cheat code for Jerry to be like, well, this is the reason why I'm paying you what 58 instead of 60. You know what I mean? Like just the little details.
Nah, but see see this is what I'm saying. Right now, Dak is trying to be okay. I ain't trying to get the 65 to 60. Just come on, man. Just you know what I mean. Pay me. Dak mess around and start this season off good, man. He ain't gonna want to be talking about no contract. You know what I mean? We ain't talking about no contract. You know what I'm saying? How do I come in second in MVP votes, Pro Bowler, and then you playing with my money? I lead the league in touchdowns and all that. You playing with my money. You know what I mean? Come on, man. 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. You playing with my money. And nah, man. Yesterday's price ain't tomorrow's price. You know what I'm saying? And that's if I was that. Hey, if I was that, I'm giving you a discount right now. Because listen to this, right? Listen to this, Cravin, right? We know the salary cap go up every year, right? Yeah. So why don't you get that right now before the salary cap go up? So get him now because the salary cap gonna go up again next year. So at the end of the season, when it go up, he gonna be want more money.
Exactly. Like if they would have understood that years ago, you probably wouldn't be paying this money to Dak now. It's like everyone tells you, like if you pay attention to Cowboy Nation or pay attention to the media, like they say y'all do. You would know the situations in which you should be paying your number one receiver, in which you should be paying your quarterback. Even guys we have coming up like Tyler Smith, Micah Parsons. I mean, hell, if we want to really avoid, like we thought CD held out.
Yeah, you know that's why you get it done now because Micah Parsons gonna want a whole bunch of money,
right? And he said he gonna wait. He said he literally gonna wait. So you think he gonna come to practice? He wouldn't come into I mean, I know OTAs is different. OTAs. Come on now.
If I was Micah Parsons' agent, he wouldn't be playing right now.
That's a good point.
He's on the sideline.
Right.
I'm my highest value right now. Anything can happen during the season. You know what I mean? I want my money right now.
Right.
Like, I want it right now. I don't care about none of that, man. I want my money right now. You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely feel you.
Yeah, I want it right now. So all around, to me, I think we better. I think we're gonna have a tougher schedule. We're gonna get a chance to talk stuff to where he at? He ain't in the chat today. The Houston.
I did see Eastside earlier. I don't know if he's still hanging around. I did see Eastside sneaking here, and also shout out to John Jones. I seen you sneaking here earlier too. Tyrone Church. I seen you, Stephen White. I definitely seen you sneaking here. What's up, fam? How you doing? Thank you to everybody. I hope I didn't miss nobody. If I miss anybody, please forgive me. But I'm scrolling through now. Elvin Hicks, of course. I gotta shout you out, fam. What's up, fam? How you doing? Okay, making sure I ain't missing nobody. Okay, good. Thank you to everybody who's joining us. Especially on this earlier, about to be a 3-day weekend. Y'all, hope y'all ready for this nice long weekend we got coming up. And really, the weekend before football because the first game is on Thursday. I'm excited about that. You know, we talking about. Even I'm excited to see the Ravens versus the Chiefs like that. Talk about a starter game to the season, and you know, of course, they got Derrick Henry now. You know, what I'm saying I'm definitely excited just to see what and not just our team, but really what all these teams have in store because, like we know, every team changes over the offseason. So, you know, you can go up last, and I think that's a great point. And shout out to Cowboys Fan Talk. I seen him on the NFC Super Friends the other day. And actually, I think it was last night he was on there, and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna talk about this year, or are we talking about last year?" And I think that's a great point because every year teams change, right? And even like you mentioned, whether we got better or worse, like everyone has to see the field. Everyone has to see the field and put what they've done in the offseason and put it to use. I'm saying so, and that's where it really gets down to, like whether or not these teams are good, whether or not we have gotten better, whether or not these guys have learned the new scheme, the playbook, things like that. Like all this comes together once the season starts.
Right. You can have big names, but it still got to be on the field. See, we only see certain things because we're like Cowboy fans. But even if you take Philadelphia for example, didn't they lose Kelsey?
Yeah, I think he retired. Yeah,
you know So it's other teams that's going through some growing pains. The 49ers over there, Trent Williams at home with his feet kicked up. And if Trent Williams don't come back, Purdy gonna look like Walt Disney out there on skates. Look, you know, you're gonna see how good he is. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna think you bought a ticket to go see the San Francisco 49ers. You're gonna think you bought a ticket to go see Walt Disney the way Purdy gonna be out there on skates. It's a lot of teams. It's a lot of teams.
You saw Chris Jones last season in the damn Chiefs game. Talking about, okay, this is how y'all playing week one. Pay me my money.
I will say this though. Out of all the teams in the NFL, I don't think I'm scared of none of them. Nobody should be scared of none of them, right? The only team I think you'd be scared of is over there in Kansas City because he won a Super Bowl last year with no wide receivers. They don't got this dude some wide receivers. They don't got this dude some wide receivers.
Right, and a 7th round running back. And a 7th round running back. And what's crazy is, like, I don't know.
If we ain't in the
AFC. Right, facts, because, like, you just, like you mentioned, like, everyone just doesn't have a Patrick Mahomes. And I'm not comparing Dak to Patrick Mahomes, but you gotta be happy for what you have, guys. Like, KC, like, Kansas City, before they got Patrick, and there's no shade to Kansas City, but you didn't hear about them like this. So it's like,
no, they had Smith. Yeah, no.
I'm just saying, like, come on now. So we have Dak Prescott, and I just don't. Me personally, I said I don't want to see it without Dak Prescott because you just don't know what's going to get out of it. I mean, of course, we know what Patrick Mahomes is to be able to do things like this, but Jerry and Steven got to realize that not everybody is Patrick Mahomes. Like, that can't be Patrick. You can't give a team full of, and like I said, and granted, they're all young guys. We don't know what potential they have right now, but they're young guys. They're draftees. Like, they're in their
man, I heard somebody say today on air. I heard somebody say today they should trade CeeDee Lamb. Don't pay Dak Prescott. Trade CeeDee Lamb and try to move up to get Shadir Sanders. Like, some of the stuff I be hearing. Have you heard that?
I ain't hear, but I heard the Sanders part. I ain't hear about trading the CD. Now I'm really crazy, but I heard about the Sanders part.
They're talking about rebuild, blow it up and rebuild and get draft picks for CeeDee Lamb. Listen, man, and that's why I think Jerry gonna sign Dak, because why would you pay CD to bring in another quarterback?
Right. It don't make sense. You know, and CD, and I think before he got signed, I think he made that known that, hey, like, I want my quarterback to be here. He needs to be paid. Like, there's no question about it. I want Dak here. So
then they bring up his mom.
I think he would think about that too. Like, why would I want to sign here for 4 or 5 or 4 years if it doesn't have to be my guy, but if my guy isn't here, who do you have here? I'm not signing a contract with not knowing who you're gonna have here. Like you said, like Stephen White said he heard that on Fisher. Yeah,
he heard it.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't Fisher where I heard it at. I heard it on Get Up, actually. That's where I heard it at.
Okay. Yeah, even Loves Beauty. Yeah, I was appalled. Like, it's one thing to hear because I guess people mad at Micah. Like, it's one thing you hear trade Micah for picks, but trade CD, y'all. Like, y'all gotta know CD is our offense, right? Like, we talking about not having the number 2 piece. So if we don't have CD, we saw with the preseason. Even and there's no fight to the guys, but even in training camp, it wasn't as exciting without CD there. Like, you can get videos of all these guys, doing their thing, but they're trying to make the team. You don't get to see the flash that CD and Dak bring to training camp.
Some of these takes be ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? They be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And two, you could take Dak Prescott and his exact stats and drop him off over there in Atlanta or something like that. He'll probably make a few Pro Bowls, but he won't get killed like he get in now. Look at Kirk Cousins. He don't get killed like the way Dak get killed. I think it's because you play with the Cowboys, and I understand. Like, it come with the territory. I understand. You know what I mean? Being a Cowboy is like a celebrity, especially at quarterback position. So I understand.
Right. Yeah.
But just give him the same as you give to all the other quarterbacks. That's all.
And I'm glad you brought that up because even before Kirk Cousins, he wouldn't get as much, but he would have that whole thing over. And I'm sure he still has it now. But they would say he never plays well in prime time. He always loses, things like that. But he stayed getting the job, y'all. He just got a contract coming off of Achilles. So whether or not these teams make you believe that they don't, or even if you just want to think about Dak, no matter how much Jerry wants you to believe that he doesn't trust Dak, you don't want to pay him this, that, and the third. Do you really think Jerry wants to? And I don't even talk about his age, but do you really think Jerry wants to go forward with no certainty with his team? And really, certainty starts at your quarterback. You can't you don't look at a team and say, oh, they got this wide receiver, they got this. The first thing you look at is their quarterback.
Right. And you're gonna give up all those pieces to try to get Shadir. Like, there's some shit. Hey, but you know what though? I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't put it past Jerry to get him. You know how much money that'll bring in? Deion Sanders' son. I wouldn't put it past Jerry.
Right.
I wouldn't put it past Jerry.
Honestly, he wasted. And I'm sorry, but it's my opinion. But he wasted a whole 4th round pick to try to have leverage that he decided to go get. Not like he talked to Steven or we worked this out. We've been talking about this for a month. No, I picked up the phone, called 49ers and said, hey, I want you up a trade. Oh, 4th round, okay. Oh yeah, I ain't talking to nobody. I did it myself. Like, he did, like you said, he did that. So it's like now after me seeing that personally, I don't put anything like I know. I'm maybe younger than other fans, but I haven't known Jerry for that long to be doing crazy shit. But for me personally, when I see him go out and trade a 4th-round pick by talking to nobody, I'm like, okay, well, and then he'll do anything to prove he's right about something.
Yeah. He was gonna draft Johnny Manziel, remember?
Bro, and he didn't even come it's like he came out on fire, bro. He came out soft. Like I don't even think he made a whole season, did he? Did he make it through a whole damn season?
Nah, he had a whole bunch of. But listen, it's talked about. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's not about really winning because it's about pride. I seen somebody put it in the comments. Jerry want to win his way. You know what I'm saying? Jerry want to get the credit for the way he win, because if he didn't, he would go up in the owner's box and let these bring in a named coach that's gonna get these players right and let them do their thing. And then when they go out there and then come out and do your little press conference when we try to win or something.
Exactly.
You know
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I
mean? I really wish we saw Jerry like a lot less. Like,
Jerry get on my nerves, man. Jerry
it's like, bro, like we don't need to hear from you every week. Like even the radio shows he has every week, it's like, bro, like, how much you really got to say from week to week? That you like that you know what I'm saying? Like how much you really got to say? Yeah. Like Richard Royster in the building. I don't think I've seen you before. What's up, fam? Thank you for joining us. John Jones. Yeah, that's fact. He said ESPN ain't been nothing since Stuart Scott passed. That's 100% correct. And shout out to Stuart Scott. That's when I really first started watching ESPN. I had no idea he was sick. So man, when that came out, that was really hard to watch. That was one, like you said, one of the guys who just really kept it real and just honest on TV. And I mean, you just get a different feeling. Stuart Scott, I think he was. Yeah. And even now, you just get a whole different. Just me personally, I get a whole different feeling. Sitting on ESPN now. Now it's not even like it used to be something you can just throw on, and listen to in the background. It's like now it's just like they don't come with the facts no more. They're biased. They only bring on players who or former players who just want to get out their opinion. It's just like.
Because it's entertainment. It's almost scripted. You know what I mean?
All it is now.
It's scripted. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't talk about the Cowboys, a lot of these short sports shows, First Takes, and all these places, their ratings will go down.
Exactly.
You know just don't talk about the Cowboys for a good month and see them to drop. Right. I told you this off air. I get a lot of my information from the Cowboy fan talks, from the bosses, from the Law Nations, from the even people not them, all the other stuff. You can get they'll give you their opinion, but they'll also give you some facts and stuff. If you want to go to the false stuff, you can go to them because you know what I mean. It's their agenda.
No, and not just that fan, but like you said, not just biased opinion, but they're like. And I don't even like using the word attack, and attack may not even be the right word for it, but it's like the attitude they come when they're discussing the Cowboys. Oh, are they going to pay Dak? It's always like uncertainty, or it's like, oh, there's a problem, you know, in Cowboy Nation. It's always just like y'all can't just never speak like, okay, well, Dak is doing this. Dak is elevating these players that they're bringing in. I'm saying Dak is leading the league and damn touchdown passes. I'm saying CD led the league in receptions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. Everything that comes out of their mouths, they're just spewing hate. They're just spewing, there's so much controversy. Like Key just said, it's always controversy coming out of Cowboys Nation. It's never anything good. It's never even. Like I said, I think last year was maybe one of the first off seasons I've seen where Jerry wasn't in the news a lot. You know, he was. I guess at that point he was trusting Mike McCarthy with calling plays and things like that. So he wasn't stepping out in the media as much then. But it's like outside of that, like you just always hear them on the radio doing interviews, just talking mess about their players. And it's like, I'm not getting enough.
Jerry wasn't in the media in the offseason because he was in the media for something else, trying to build a damn soccer stadium or some trying to get some.
And trying to get the Olympics and shit. I'm like,
that's why he went up off in the media. Jerry don't care what the topic is, as long as it's in the media. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott is like the Floyd Mayweather effect. He sold a lot of pay-per-views because half of them won't even see him lose, and the other half want to see him win.
See, you about to get me mad about somebody else, because I can't tell you how many pay-per-views I paid for and Mayweather ain't do shit but fucking dance around, bro. Like,
hey, but some people paid to see him lose. You bought the pay-per-view to see him lose.
Yeah,
so that's the same thing with the Cowboys.
I was on that Pacquiao joint, and I'm like, bro, like, this how we're going to end? Really?
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Cowboys. You think about all the fan bases, 31 other teams. They got to wake up in the morning. That's why they hate us. That's why we the most hated fan base by other fans, because they got to wake up in the morning, ride to work, listen to First Take, talk about the Cowboys. You won't hear them talk about Seattle, Atlanta. You know what I mean? Only why they talking about San Francisco, because Brandon got the big contract. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be no San Francisco.
Exactly. And I'm so glad you said that, because that's the only reason Jerry came out and said I have no urgency, because the day before he heard, oh, San Fran has so much off-season drama. They have even more than the Cowboys. And all of a sudden, Jerry come out, oh, I have no urgency with paying CD. Oh, all of a sudden now.
Yeah, and then CD put up the LOL and you got in the office. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And then hey, let me tell you something though. Dak said, what Jerry said don't hold no weight with me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man.
I hit that. Straight up. Like, look
on
like
Labor Day.
Right, exactly.
On Labor Day.
I'm already typing in. Very happy to see you, fam. I see you snirking. I see you sneaking here. What's up, y'all?
What was that? Love, Beauty said it's going to be announced on Labor Day. And if that's the case, it's because ratings. It's going to be, you know.
Yeah, because Jerry always do stuff either going into the weekend or coming out the weekend, and it's a 3-day weekend right before the season kicks off. So I could see that, and honestly at this point I'm hoping for a Love's Beauty. I'm hoping Jerry just STFU and just come out and pay your damn quarterback, bro.
Yes, yeah. Hey, do Dak ask for the no trade and the no franchise again in this contract? Could that be what's holding it up?
I think he already has, honestly. I think you know, I mean, because there's no way, because even if he does, well, they can't trade him because it's the last year of his contract. But I think he already has the
I'm talking about in a new contract. If he gets signed, if they give him a new contract, is he trying to put that in the new contract?
I can see that. I can see that because
that's probably what's holding it up.
Yeah, I mean, they said Romo even did that even in his second contract, he put no trade, and he said no tag, because he know that the Jones is quick to do that. He know they quick to tag people, so
they need to take that out.
Yeah,
the players union need to find a way to get that franchise tag out of there, and then that would give the players more leverage.
Right, because I think it was in his first contract, because they tagged him, and then in his first contract they said that he said that they couldn't tag him or trade him. So yeah. Like Richard said, he better put that. Yeah, you can. It's definitely. I mean, I think we did that before already. I think it's common sense already. But yeah, it's starting to definitely show now that Dak doesn't. That's what the Joneses. He doesn't trust them. Like you just said earlier, he treats them as a business. Like, and that's how you got to. Like, even though all these players are doing that, now trying to take care of their families and things like that. But for whatever reason, our quarterback really got to be on. He really got to be on this shit, because like you got your own owner. Trying to take money out of your pocket.
Exactly.
Man, yeah. Calvin Higgins, he said franchise tag is a career killer, because
it is
for anybody, because like you don't know what to expect. That's pretty much. I ain't gonna say you going in with no contract, but like you said, anything can happen, and anything we seen, y'all. Week 1, what was that? I think 2 years ago, Dak broke his finger on the player's helmet. That shit don't happen all the time. You don't know whether it has something to do with somebody missing the block, or whether a tackle missed the block. You don't know how another player's helmet is going to come into your hand. He can't help that. So even Aaron Rodgers, he got Alvin Cook mentioned that he got hurt play forward. Right. You can't help that, bro. So it's like you can't blame him.
You go out there and break your leg. Remember when he broke his leg? I ain't going out. If I was Dak, I'm not going out there, man. You know what I mean? It'd be the Dallas people running out the tunnel. It'd be breaking news. Dak Prescott at home. Dak Prescott Dak Prescott on Facebook at home saying he ain't playing today. I bet that'll get my contract signed then. I ain't playing today.
Yes, absolutely. And that's great. Shout out to Boss Cowboy Sports. He brought up a huge point that Dak really should have kept it he should have really made a deadline before going to the season, because like you said, you never know what can happen in these games. And also that it also lets them know, like, I'm staying on who I am. I know I am a player. I already proved to you guys last year. You asked me to do it last year with essentially a new play caller, because that was Mike McCarthy's first year calling plays. I'm saying Tony Pollard coming off an injury, Tyron missing practices, your O-line, you don't have to start in 5 for the first 5-6 games. So it's like, you have all this uncertainty, but you're asking me to do my job as a coach, to be able to put these guys on the field, whoever I have, whether I have my stars or whether I have, backup linemen. You're still asking me to do my job. So you're going to have to either.
I believe you. Anything you do in life, you do it better when you're happier. People that don't like their job, they go to work, man. They don't be they be mad, mad doing stuff. You know what I mean?
So
hey, you do your job. You like your job. You tend to go the extra mile. Dak Prescott might be better if you just go and pay the dude. I know I'm secure. Yeah. You took care of me. I'm gonna go out here. I don't got to think about nothing. I don't got nobody asking me because they're gonna ask him throughout the whole year. As soon as you go to the podium, hey, what you think about
excuse my language, I'm sorry. That's what he want, but y'all don't understand because you already had that talk last year. You had it through the offseason, so I don't understand what Jerry. I mean, I don't understand, period. But I guess I can understand what Jerry feels like he's getting from the media, constantly questioning Dak's job. But you hear it on even though ESPN and 4 networks is talking crazy about the Cowboys, they know. Like shout out to Louis Riddick, he spoke to it the other day. Like, yo, we know what Dak is. He proved it last year, like you said, second and MVP, runner-up MVP. What more do you have to see from him? Shout out to the media for actually asking that question to Jerry. What more do you really need to see from Dak? And he want to be all like, oh, well, it's the cap, and we haven't made it past the champion. Well, we haven't made the championship, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, yeah, like you said, you got to put the pieces around him.
Yeah, Tony Romo didn't make it. You gave him his money. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, if we just going off, because I said earlier, football is not track. It ain't no silver. It ain't no bronze. So if you really look at it, all these quarterbacks way up there, the Tuas, the Lawrences, the even the Burrow, he didn't win. He lost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Jalen Hurts and all these people making all this money, they all lost.
Hell, Herbert, like hell, he had a whole collapse in the playoffs.
All of them lost. So if you really think about it, just like they said about Dak, I can pay anybody to go out there and make it lose in the first round. Well, I can pay anybody out there to go and lose to Patrick Mahomes every year. I don't got to pay you Lamar Jackson. What I got to pay you for? You gonna lose. I ain't got to pay you Josh Allen. You lost. And all these dudes wanted Patrick Mahomes at home on their home field, right? And they lost.
Exactly.
So why I got to pay you when I can pay somebody else to lose to him?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a business first. I look at it like this. As a fan, I like to see them entertainment because I don't give a damn if Dak Prescott, like personally, him not getting his money don't affect me. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see him play on Sunday. I just want him to get his money. It's a business to them first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. We've seen him earn it pretty much since he started out, right? 2016, taking up the backup job to Tony Romo. But it's like
it's a business. It's a business first.
Never had a losing season, and you keep supplying him with outside of CeeDee Lamb, outside of Amari Cooper. When you did go to trade for him, you haven't really given him many guys to be able to go to bat with. So for him to be this successful this far in his career, like you say, year 9, and to feel this as healthy as he's feeling to go into the season, like you don't have that every day. Like you just mentioned, Joe Burrow. Even I think last season, Patrick Mahomes was dealing with a little leg issue going into the season. So these quarterbacks are not immune to injury. Knock on wood for any quarterback who's going into the season. So it's like you said, these players should have to be able to go on the field and feel like they're taking a risk, or have it, like you said, have it in the back of their mind that hey, they may not get paid. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Steve White, he says he's getting paid by the same. We know that Dak is gonna get paid whether it's here or somewhere else, right? And hopefully he'll be here, but they know they're going to get paid. These players are only going to get paid, but at the same time, like we mentioned, the human element is still going to be in the back of their mind. Even Dak said, "Hey, I'm human." It's part of being, it's part of just, even having a normal job. You know what I'm saying? You worry about getting paid every 2 weeks, right? You want to make sure the bank got it right. Your direct deposit, you want to make sure that money coming in.
Right. I look at it like this, though. See, people need to just like break things down. They're getting caught up on this. Oh, he wants $60 million. He wants this. Let's take the $60 million away. Because a couple years ago, they were saying $27 million is too much to pay Dak, right? The $60 million is equivalent to the $27 million then, because the cap has went up. Stop thinking about it as like, oh, he getting 60. No, look at it as the cap has went up. You know what I'm saying? So if the TV, right, that's where they get their money on them TV deals. So if these TV deals is paying these teams X amount of dollars, if the players are out there on the field, so the players should get the money. Stop thinking about it, $60 million. Like I don't understand where people be getting this stuff from, man. It's a business.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
that's all they hear the big number and they feel like they
Yeah,
use the quarterback stats against them. You know, whether they're good or bad, they're like, well, they haven't gone here, they haven't done
right.
this, they haven't done that. They only done this in the playoffs. They get nicked
Yeah,
out in the first round. Even Lamar Jackson, he should be getting the criticism, but we do see
yeah,
what he does in the regular season. Does that mean he doesn't deserve
yeah.
a contract? You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
no, because ESPN gave Lamar Jackson another MVP. We just talked about pushing agendas. Because how do you lead the league in touchdowns and all this, and you don't get the MVP? Like, come
right,
on, man, come on.
right,
Like, that's a whole different. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But I'm
yeah,
just saying, like, come on, man. That dude is
yeah.
one of the most hated. And then too, if I was that, do you remember Carson Wentz? They paid Carson Wentz. They paid Jared Goff. Dak had to wait like
Right,
years. So even if it's not what you paid me for this, what about when I was a rookie, when I was only making $1 million and we going to the playoffs and all that? I didn't lose that game. I took us down the field and scored. The defense let Aaron Rodgers go right down the field and score a touchdown. That ain't my
right.
fault.
Right. In
Yeah,
2018 as well, letting the Rams, someone off the couch, run
yeah,
down our throat. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And
Like,
then he go beat Russell Wilson in Seattle. People forget about that. All they talk about is you sent the old Tom Brady home. What
right,
about Seattle?
right, right.
What about Seattle? Didn't he send them home?
Facts. I'm telling you, man. But look, everybody, look. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. We're really
Yeah.
chopping it up. You know, we just a
Yeah.
lot of news. You know, what I'm saying this past week, last couple of weeks, we know training camp, has officially ended. You know, these guys are looking to play their first game. I think about 8 to 9 games or so. We know the first game is actually next week, next Thursday. Thursday night football. Very excited to see that, and really just to see the season really kick off. So, Sports Junkie, look, man. Oh, go ahead.
I got one question before we go for you. You mind?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay. Based on our schedule, give me a prediction of the wins. The wins.
See, I haven't looked specifically over the schedule.
We play Cincinnati. We play Houston. We play the Lions. We play 49ers. We play Baltimore, Cleveland.
Yeah, Saints and Atlanta and all them down there. Okay.
10, 11, 12.
I'll right now before I get a deep look at it, I'll say 10 to 12 because some of those, like some of the AFC North definitely I'm a little shaky on, and then of course the line. I ain't gonna say Lions because I feel like we can still beat them at home, but the Texans I'll kind of reserve on the Texans because right now they just playing a little bit different, but I'll say 10 to 12. I'll say 10 to 12. Yeah. So I'll say 10, 12. 10 and 7 or 12. Yeah, 12 and 5. I guess I'll say.
I'm going 12. I'm going 12. Hey, because listen, even if you give us losses to Houston, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Lions, that's still 4. I give us all those losses. We still smack everybody else up. We still smack everybody else up.
Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna beat the Giants twice. So that's 2 wins. That's 2 wins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say we got to play our division twice, and I don't see a problem with the division, like you said. Like I can see the defense wins, and like only problem I really have, you know, what I'm saying, is the AFC North and the NFC South. I'm not gonna say I'm not worried about them. But I'll just say like Atlanta's still coming up. Not saying I'm worried about them. I'm just saying like because they're different teams. I definitely want to see. And the Saints, not saying they give us trouble, but the Saints for me, I love watching the Saints play. You know, their defense could come out. You know, I know in the past season their defense has been stronger than their offense. So I hold my reservations there, but I feel like we still beat them, obviously. But
right.
I say 10.
I agree. I'm saying 12. I'm saying 11 or 12 wins this year. But if you'd have told me we didn't do nothing on defense, I would be longer. But the moves we made on defense is gonna be good against those offenses.
That's a great point. That's a huge point.
Lamar Jackson ain't no. I guess
I haven't looked at our schedule since we had added all these pieces. So yeah, that's a huge point. I'll definitely say that because our defense definitely stand up against these offenses, especially starting the season out because they're going to be fresh. They're going to be fresh on Zimmer's ideology. So yeah, I could definitely see them being.
You know how the Dallas Cowboys like to play. If we take from last year and bring it to this, we like to get up and then pressure. So if we got the same offense, we can get up, and our defense is, let's just say on a scale from 1 to 10, let's call them a 6 last year. They're 8 this year, 9 this year. Without seeing them, I would think just based off the pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
no,
think
no,
we're gonna
100% agree because we've already seen just in preseason, not and we haven't seen the starters. So we see these, we've seen the practice squad and the depth guys getting interceptions and pass breakups in preseason games. So you can imagine when those starters are out there, you can imagine some of these plays just kind of falling in these players' hands. And if we get those turnovers earlier and have like you mentioned with the I don't mention a lot, but with the special teams having having good field advantage, I'm saying, and even having and speaking of, I know we talk about it off camera. I know we don't talk about Brandon Aubrey a lot, but Brian Anger still has that foot, still has that leg. I'm saying giving us good, I think, field position. Giving the defense good field position, but kind of pinning back. That's one thing I noticed in preseason. Like the defense seem to play a lot better when the opponent is pinned deep in their own territory. I saw that. I think it was the Raiders. Now, granted, I know the quarterbacks were battling for a starting spot. I know it was I can't forget his name, but we know they were battling for a spot. But I know they're making a lot of mistakes. But our defense just seemed a little bit more hungry, a little bit more tighter at the line when they were pinned deep. So like you said, I just see them linebackers, really just coming downhill, hitting, and also defensive tackles. We saw, unfortunately, we lost Rodgers, but we saw Denzel Jackson improving in the preseason. So making tackles at the actual line of scrimmage. So, like you said, I think we are going to be better there. So yeah, if we can get these offenses pinned deep in their own territory with Brian Anger, and like you mentioned, even if we good decent field position with Turpin, if we do. Like McCarthy said, we get to about the 50 or 40. Hey man, like you said, hey man.
Something before we go, something we didn't talk about on the defensive side. I want to say real quick. Mm-hmm. The defense not only is more talented, and I think we filled the holes. I think the defense is going to be more disciplined this year too, because we had a lot of penalties that we stop a drive, we get an offside, we get a. I think Zimmer going to be clear.
Right. And I noticed that because did you notice in preseason we were getting penalties on the offensive line, but how many penalties did we really get on the defensive side, y'all?
Hey, come here. Zimmer come here, man. A lot of people gonna be getting cussed out walking to the sideline.
Right. Hey, shout out to landlord in the building too. Really want to say shout out to landlord. Really appreciate
shout out him. Hey man, I'll be watching your stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be in the liquor store.
Coming with the player interviews, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, like I'm jealous a little bit. I gotta hit you up, landlord, because I'm gonna be releasing my player clips. I think sometime this weekend, and I do have some of your question that you asked the player. So I'm gonna send you just a little clip to make just kind of clear it with you, because I don't want to put out your shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna link up with you right quick, landlord, when I get off here or sometime this weekend. But yeah, like I definitely like you mentioned, like the defense is definitely more disciplined. And like I said, really the only penalties we've seen as far as preseason, and I know it's just preseason, but mostly on special teams, almost every damn kickoff, unfortunately. But also, on the offensive line and really mostly Matt Walesko. And we had a couple of holdings every now and then, Malik Davis, but I think that was on special teams. Penalties just didn't, and I know, the season is different. I know that, but I just know that just going off preseason, we didn't have as many, like you said, like you mentioned, as many defensive penalties, and really just all together, penalties outside of special teams. So, like you mentioned, more discipline and a little bit more free, because hopefully the front defensive line will be playing tighter at the line, having those combo blocks. So, if our linebackers can come down and eat, and then our secondary just kind of get into the groove as well, with Bland going down. But if they send a young guy out there, hopefully the front two levels will be able to take care of that back level.
Yeah, and Zimmer is gonna be on the sideline. He ain't gonna be up there in the box like Dan Quinn. It's gonna be more accountability. You're gonna have to be accountable for the mistakes you make, because Zimmer gonna be right there when you walk off. Man, Dan Quinn up there in the box, man. Come on, man.
And also be able to communicate with Mike McCarthy as well, as far as making adjustments, because you can't. I just think we saw a lot of instances last year where McCarthy's trying to rest his defense. Trying to rest his offense, and the defense go out there and pretty much get a 3 and out, and the offense right back out there having to make up for what their defense. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see too many chances where our defense doesn't get a chance to rest, because that has an effect. Going on in the game and going on down the season. I mean, I know D-Law didn't mean to say it, but he said that they were burnt out towards the end of the season. So I just.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said that.
I'm sorry, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes when you ain't thinking about it, you speak the truth, you know what I'm saying? So we don't want guys like Micah being, and that's why I mentioned it's great about having the rotation, because we have guys like Carl Lawson that they brought in. We have Ghostin who has improved this past offseason. So just be able to give Micah that spell a little bit, and also he's gonna be playing linebacker, the linebacker role a little bit more, a little bit more in this season. So I think that will kind of help as far as his agility, and it's really just as far as his conditioning as the season goes on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you coming on, especially like I said, especially on the Friday before a long weekend. I know, we all, trying to rest up and get ready for the upcoming week next week. Oh, but yeah, thank you to everybody who joined us. Darren Posey, I see you sneaking in at the last moment. Really appreciate everybody coming in. Really appreciate y'all on the Friday. So everybody, before you guys get out of here, I don't know if I said in the beginning, but you guys, y'all my family, y'all already know. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to Sports Junkie, please do it now. Follow him on Twitter as well. I did mention him in the Twitter post before we actually became live. So make sure you guys go follow him, retweet this, like, share, subscribe, and please, guys, just stay tuned. Like I said, I don't know as far as this weekend when I'll be doing the video, but I'll definitely be back next week with you guys, and just be on the lookout. Honestly, you got any last words, Sports Junkie, before we head out of here?
Nah, go Cowboys, man. Go Cowboys. We better this year. We don't listen to the media. We better this year.
Right. I think you changed my mind on that, for real. I'm definitely over this roster, and definitely, like I said, like you mentioned, take a look over this schedule. Now we can look at regular season games and just see how. Just see how much better we gonna be this year. Hey, Fresh King as well, coming at the very last second. Hey man, I love chatting it up with you in the chat, for real, Fresh King. Really appreciate you. All right, everybody, y'all. We really appreciate y'all time tonight. Y'all have an excellent weekend. We're gonna see y'all next week. All right, peace.